Okay, so we are live. We are live with our Inside podcast. We go live every Wednesday, 3 p.m. UTC. The podcast is called Inside. This time it is Inside Uptick Network. This is a new rising chain based on Cosmos SDK. And today we have our guests from Uptick Network. Our guest name is Brian. Hello, Brian. Give you a chance to introduce yourself and introduce Uptick Network that you're working on.
Sure. Thank you. I'm pretty happy to be here to share with you about me and the Uptick project here. My name is Brian. I'm the founder of Uptick Network. Uptick Network, basically, it's a infrastructure project focused on the NFT. We call it business-grade NFT infrastructure because we feel that's very essential for the basically next generation internet, or say Web3. Because in the past we see a lot of very innovative applications, but none of them are reaching the business grade. So there's a huge potential in this domain and to cover different type of NFT. About myself, I always call myself a veteran of internet. So I started my career in late 90s, and then basically start my career in Web1 and went through Web 2 and now working on Web 3. So in the past, I participated or co-founded or become the early member of 3 startups. One got acquired and the 2 went to NASDAQ. And I also spent several years in Microsoft MSN. So I was the CTO of Microsoft MSN Greater China area. So to take care of the internet service related localization and local operation product part in East Asia and the Southeast Asia. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy to be here. So to share with you about the project and why we are doing that.
Awesome. Thank you for the introduction. And I'm really, really excited to see such professionals in Cosmos ecosystem. It's always a pleasure. Yeah, lots of hopium that people from Web 1, Web 2, come into Web 3 and especially to Cosmos ecosystem. So really happy to have you, Brian, here with us today. And we will be diving deeper into Uptick today and talking about its use cases, why you call it business grade NFT solutions, and so on and so on. But first, let me introduce the podcast flow, how we usually go. So we start very quickly with a discussion of the most recent Citadel.one ecosystem news. We do have some updates to share with our community. They're also connected with NFTs. Then we discuss governance. Governance is one of the most important topics in Citadel or in Cosmos ecosystem. Because Cosmos SDK allows its users, stakeholders to decide on the future of blockchains, on the future of projects. So this is one of our topics today as well. Then we switch to top news and announcements around Cosmos ecosystem. Of course, in parallel, we discuss with Brian, what's going on in Cosmos ecosystem, how it also affects and relates to Uptick network. And after that, if there are any questions left, we switch only to Uptick. We discuss all the questions that were unanswered. So let's get started. First of all, just 3 updates that I have to share today. The first one is that our team has integrated Territory. Territory is also a network that specializes on NFTs. So our users now have a chance to stake. Yeah, we are not talking about their marketplace just yet. It's just staking. Yeah, users will be able to stake their Tori token. They can also get XCT rewards for staking Tori. So we are moving towards, like, Citadel.one platform is moving towards acquiring NFT use cases. Yeah, and also Uptick, the guest we have today, is also connected deeply with NFT. So hope we will have some really nice collaborations together. The second piece of news I wanted to share is also about an NFT marketplace that is going to be integrated to Citadel.one pretty soon. It's OmniFlix. It's still in development, so it's not in production. I have a very brief showcase for you. It's for those who's watching us online. You can see how the marketplace will look like. So this is the first NFT marketplace that will appear on Citadel.one. Hopefully Uptick will follow as well, so that users will be able to trade, purchase, create NFT collections. What it will be, we'll find out today. And just now I want to show you how our basic interface for NFT marketplaces look like. So this is so it's coming pretty soon. And the third piece of news that I have is, we already discussed it on some previous podcasts, is that Citadel.one has joined Staking Rewards Verified Provider Program. Yeah, now users are able to choose their validators carefully. They can just click on the Staking Reward logo right next to the validator and read all the information about it. So this is it. This is all the updates from Citadel.one. And Brian, I see there are many chains that are on Cosmos SDK that are related to NFTs. So the first question to you is how Uptick network is different from all of them. Yeah, so you have your own vision. You were saying that your business business grade NFT solution. So what does it mean? Please introduce Uptick in more details here.
Oh, okay, yeah. So actually, NFT is a very big space. I also see a lot of projects working on that, which is pretty good, because overall NFT is still in the very early stage. The more projects working on that, the more future we can achieve. So in Uptick side, so actually, our team actually started early stage NFT practice back to in 2018. That was early days with NFT on Ethereum, and then moving on. So we actually built several pretty innovative NFT based applications at that time. For example, show it ticket related NFT. But the problem is we found because the overall layer 1 blockchain and also the supporting layer 2 are not enough to support kind of this orientation. So it's not just a crypto native application. It's more like application which will need a massive adoption to the general public. So there's a huge gap still between crypto community and the general public. So in order to do that, we just find so user experience cannot be compressed too much. So in that sense, we need to have a ground, which is layer 1 and layer 2 together as an infrastructure to support the application layer. Otherwise, the user experience will scare away a lot of people. So which is not the purpose to serve the business community. Like a lot of NFT is focusing on the marketplace in the past, including Uptick. We also have our flagship application, which is an Uptick NFT marketplace running on top of that. But the key is the marketplace, in our view, is just a place to trade or do some simple creation of an NFT, mint NFT and trade NFT. But that's not enough, because NFT is not just a JPEG, not just a PFP. There's a huge wider spectrum of NFT, which reflects all type of digital assets. So collectible, functional, utility NFT. So in that case, we need not only a very good marketplace in place, we also need a framework to support the developer to build all kinds of NFT-based applications. For example, ticket application, NFT music application, NFT video application. So all those applications actually the place to generate valuable NFT, and also to make it more valuable if it's in that application ecosystem. At the same time, the NFT assets can be also traded in the general marketplace that we provide. So in that case, I think Uptick network actually maybe is planning one more step forward. So we consider us as an infrastructure plus a general exchange marketplace, and also ecosystem application. Basically, 3 elements become the Uptick network. Yeah, so as you mentioned, other NFT projects are doing pretty good. So I think in the future, the digital assets in the overall Cosmos system will be pretty interoperable. So actually, we also participated the recent, to be announced, game of NFT, which is an inter-chain NFT based on the ICS 721 standard. So yeah, so I think Uptick is holding a unique place to really focus on the NFT, especially utility NFT, which is actually can map into the daily life applications. Yeah, so that's what we are doing. So far, I think probably this year we will see a lot of applications to happen in the Uptick network, which might bring in massive general public to Cosmos ecosystem. Yeah.
Awesome, Brian. Very much excited about what you are saying, and finally, some real world use cases are going to come also to NFT industry, to Cosmos, of course, and all thanks to Uptick network. Very, very much awaiting all those use cases, all those applications, tickets, music. Music is really one of the things that I'm looking forward. Yeah, I really like music and really want to see how blockchain industry, NFT industry is going to affect also music industry. Yeah, we had a podcast with Bitsong team. They are also working on some music use cases based on blockchain. Yeah, and it all sounds very interesting, very exciting. And yeah, wish you a really interesting journey on that, and we'll be watching closely how your ecosystem will be growing. Yeah, thank you very much on that. And we are moving to our next topic, which is governance. Yeah, I have picked up a few topics that I really want to mention or discuss or to clarify to our users. sometimes proposals need clarifications. Yeah, there are so many proposals now because there are more and more networks appearing on Cosmos. First of all, just to warn our users that on some networks like XLR, like Crescent, I think on Stride as well, there are scam proposals. I already mentioned this before on other podcasts, but they keep coming. They are airdrop proposals. Yeah, airdrop Aptos, airdrop Luna Classic, airdrop whatever. Please don't pay attention to those proposals, even though you think they might bring some value to you. They will not. They are aiming at stealing your hard-earned money. This is what I wanted to say specifically to warn our users. Next thing I wanted to mention is Cosmos Hub Proposal 95. Just to mention that Citadel.one has voted abstain on this proposal. Why we voted abstain is because we want to avoid any possible conflict of interests. For those who doesn't know, our own Rina Stedel, our dev relations officer, is one of the team members of Atom Accelerator DAO grant program. Yeah, she will be the reviewer of the upcoming grant proposals. Very happy for Rina that she has joined it. This is a very important incentive that they are working on. So I felt obliged to mention it today. Next thing I wanted to mention is that Evmos has a proposal on chain to formalize and fund the governance workstream. Yeah, there is also a team of DAO members that are helping to facilitate and protect the integrity of Evmos governance processes. This is another DAO, yeah, another organization that is appearing on one of the Cosmos chains that will be helping facilitating governance processes on their chain. In relation to this, I wanted to ask Brian a question. So as we mentioned already, Uptick network will be based on Cosmos SDK. Yeah, it is based on Cosmos SDK. But my question is, will it be like a classical Cosmos SDK network, or will there be any maybe improvements to it or amendments, like in governance system, for example, a hard cap on voting power or minimum commission for validators, just anything that you decided to improve in Cosmos SDK? So what will be the peculiarities, some technical peculiarities?
Oh, okay. Yeah. So Cosmos SDK, actually, the beauty of that is pretty modularized. And also the modularized module can also be improved. So actually in our plan, so we do want to enhance this type of module to bring in the so more governance experience on that. But so far we just use the standard governance module to handle the normal community things like a software upgrade, right? So IBC upgrade, register token, and whatever. So but again, so actually in our community we talked about Uptick DAO actually a couple of weeks ago. So it's more than just governance. So that's a direction I and my team are thinking. Maybe there's something we can actually help enhance the governance module to the higher level. But yeah, that will take a while in the future. For example, in the Uptick DAO, we are thinking basically two layers. One is on the modularized infrastructure layer. So in that case, the account and the relationship of account will be a very essential part for the overall DAO. And the governance is one part of the DAO. So that's something in our mind. Actually, recently, a lot of people are testing out the decentralized social protocol these days, right? So it's that's actually basically mapping into our thoughts on the Uptick DAO. So in that part, so not only the accounts, but also the relationship between accounts, and can apply to the different type of governance activities. For example, community voting, that's one thing. But on the other side, because we are a business-oriented NFT infrastructure, so in NFT business, actually there's more than just simple voting. For example, in our marketplace, we found there might be some copycats, right? So so you can report the issue on some NFT and on some NFT creators. But again, who will be the judge for that, right? So in the decentralized world, nobody should be sitting in the center to be the judge, including the core team. We don't need to do that. But in that case, that will be another governance activity for the whole community, whatever who want to participate. So people can vote for this type of issue to decide whether it's a valid issue or invalid issue. So that can actually group a group of people who is care about the copyrights, care about the loyalties, right? So and also because I think there's as I said, NFT represents all kinds of digital assets. So each vertical category of digital assets have their own use case. In that case, so people might have different ways to need to do some governance to judge something or improve something. So yeah, that's something we are thinking, which is more beyond current voting-based governance module. Yeah, that's something maybe we can contribute in the future. But we will do some practice in the Uptick DAO first, because this is a pretty general thing for every project. So we were even thinking to make it a general product and public goods, and then just feedback to the whole Cosmos community. Yeah.
Very exciting to hear that. Really interesting that all brilliant minds that come to blockchain, they bring some really brilliant ideas, and also very interested to listen to such brilliant minds like you, Brian. I'm waiting for the implementations that you will bring with Uptick DAO. Yeah, while you were introducing some of the concepts, I just showed our users that are online some of the infrastructure and tech stack that Uptick Chain is using. So yeah, as you have mentioned, it's using Tendermint Core, Cosmos SDK, and I also see Ethereum here. Well, okay, I have this question prepared for a little bit later, yeah, about interoperability as well with other chains. So let's quickly go back to governance discussion. I just remembered that I have a few more topics here. So I also felt obliged to mention the proposals on secret network. Yeah, there is a huge restructuring happening in secret network. So as you might know, Secret Foundation tax is going to be changed to 0%, and Secret Foundation will be restructured. And CEO of Secret Labs, Guy Ziskind, he proposed to establish Secret Foundation as an NGO. Yeah, so lots of changes are coming to Secret Network. If you haven't heard of them, please check the links. I will provide the file right after the call. and you will be able to find our file, the one I'm looking at right now and discussing in our Citadel official Telegram chat. So let's move on. Another proposal that you might have noticed on Region Network. It looks very very odd. It's something that cannot be identified by general users. It's Region Eco Credit Marketplace version 1 message remove allowed denomination. What is it about? Don't be scared. This is not scam. This is about a proposal to remove a stable coin issued by e-money to remove it from the marketplace. Unfortunately, sad news, guys. E-money is unwinding their stable coins. Euro and other European stable coins will be removed. E-money as a blockchain will still exist. NGM token will still exist, but there will be no stable coins. Sad news. I haven't dived deeper into this issue. Was it because of some recent laws in European Union or something else? I don't know just yet. Maybe if you guys know, please share those news in our chat. But as a matter of fact, there will be no more stable coins, European stable coins on Cosmos. Sad, but that's it. All right. A question to Brian. What will be the currencies available on Uptick network? Will you be using your native token, or are you planning to also utilize interchain coins, Cosmos tokens, like upcoming USDC, native USDC, or any other? Do you have any plans about that?
Of course. Yeah, so in Uptick network, of course, native token will be used, but mainly used for the governance part at the very beginning. So in the marketplace, actually, we already have the IBC relayers. So we will introduce more IBC token into Uptick network, especially like Atom. This typical token in the Cosmos, wider Cosmos ecosystem. Of course, we are waiting for the USDC be integrated in the Cosmos ecosystem, which is very important for our NFT users. Because, in the past, NFT market actually up and down in a very huge scale. So a lot of creators, they are pretty, feel unhappy with that, right? Because they are not a typical crypto users, but they just feel their income suddenly lost 90%. So in our case, we also have some service in our community, and also I talk to a lot of people in the space. So we will introduce a stable coin into our NFT-based application and the marketplace. But at the same time, we give the choice back to the creators or publishers. So they will decide whether they want to have a native token, either IBC token or some stable coins. So basically, in the infrastructure part, we want to be wide open to provide all type of options to our ecosystem builders. Yeah, so that's why, we are waiting for the stable coin solutions.
Okay, thank you very much for clarifying that topic, Brian. And we are moving to discussions around most recent Cosmos ecosystem news, announcements. And I would like to start with the game of NFTs. Brian, you already mentioned that. Yeah, Iris Network has tweeted, love to cosmonauts for supporting Proposition 94 and the workaround game of NFTs. Now the draft rules of game of NFTs Phase 1 incentivized testnets was released on GitHub. I already checked it, and there are a couple of interesting things. Yeah, phase 1, phase 2. So yeah, interchain NFTs are coming, and I am very much excited about that. Maybe Brian, are you also a part of the game of NFTs? I know that Iris Network is also one of your partners. So do you want to comment on that piece of news?
Oh, of course. Yeah, that's, I would say it's a hot news now and soon in the rest of the February. So Uptick Network is one of the organizers of this game of NFT. Well, thanks for invitation from Uptick Network and other partners in the GON group. So Uptick Network actually last November, we already have the first round testing with the ICS 721 between IrisNet and the Uptick Network testnet. And after that, it keeps evolving. So in January to now, actually the test is almost finished. Actually today is almost finished. So currently, as far as I know, there might be more participants. As far as I know, Uptick Network, IrisNet, and Stargates, and another, I guess, Omniflix, or I forgot, sorry. So maybe 4 projects will provide testnet to build the infrastructure of GON. So that will be announced probably in the February 15th, which is open to the public registration. So basically, the first phase of game of NFT is for the to have this type of testnet-based infrastructure in place, and also it will define a lot of tasks so people can community can join to practice all those use cases. Basically, people we need to test out different routes, right? So from IrisNet to Uptick, then back to IrisNet, or go to Stargates and come back. So the interesting part is I think for this infrastructure is pretty mixed. Technology here, like IrisNet, between IrisNet and Uptick, we're using the native Cosmos SDK to run this IBC NFT relay. And between Stargates, actually, it's a native NFT between native NFT and Wasm-based NFT. So yeah, so that will be very interesting part. So probably in March, this phase 1 will going on and then be concluded. In later March or April, it will be going to the phase 2. Phase 2 will be like a hackathon, which is allow more application builders to build their own use cases on top of this GON infrastructure. Yeah.
Just to clarify for our users, or maybe possible testers, yeah, and testnet participants. In March and February, phase 1 and phase 2 of testnet will be released, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, this is cool. Interchain NFTs are approaching, and very much excited about them. Yeah. So just to clarify to our users, interchain NFT, and correct me if I'm wrong or right, interchain NFTs means that users will be able to transfer NFTs from one chain to another. Yeah, like it happens with, for example, Atom, or like it happens with Juno. Yeah, you can freely transfer your tokens from one blockchain to another using IBC. This will be possible thanks to Uptick, yeah, thanks to IrisNet, thanks to Stargaze. This will be possible to do with NFTs as well. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, that's correct. So I just want to add one thing here. So the interchain NFT is hugely different from the interchain FT, right? So IBC for FT is pretty mature right now, even though there's a lot of usability improvement in the application level. So interchain NFT, actually, this is why this game of NFT is pretty important. So first is it needs to test out the basic transfer of NFT through different networks. The second part is like a phase two, really want people to think about how to create very innovative cross-chain NFT business cases, use cases. Because, NFT transfer, there should be a purpose, right? So it's not just a transfer a token from one end to the other. So there should be a business case behind it to drive you to have the like an incentive behind it to help you to make such decision. But on the other side, there will be a lot of tools and services be built around it, in my view. This Uptick network is also working on some of that. Because, for example, if you transfer one NFT from one chain to another chain, so how does people know this is still a authentic one, right? Even though technology-wise we can prove that's authentic and through the IBC transfer, but on the user side, they also need to see some evidence and proof. So tracking record and tracing record. So that will cause another layer of a data service to provide into this whole game. So yeah, it's more complicated than FT transfer, but it's pretty interesting. I think that once that's happen, you can see very blooming NFT ecosystem in the whole cosmos.
Awesome. Thanks for the clarifications. I just have two more questions. So transferring NFT from one chain to another, does it mean that metadata is also going to be transferred from one chain to another, or is it remaining in the same ecosystem?
Well, actually, right now the metadata is still in the same place, so there's a data attributes in the cross-chain NFT transfer. So basically, it will point to the same metadata storage. Yeah, so that's my understanding right now. But it might be improved because that's why we need to have this GON up and running. So by running that, people can find more issues and more places to be optimized. Yeah.
Great. Thanks for starting this game of NFTs and hoping for contributors and gamers, of this game to contribute really interesting use cases and develop interesting solutions. And another question that I still have to clarify also for myself. So you mentioned Uptick Network, Iris, and Stargaze. Also, I see that Juno is there. Will it be possible to transfer NFTs just between these four networks, or will it be the same? Like, for example, I decide to create a channel, on let's say on also Cosmos, of course. Will I be able to transfer NFT to Cosmos, or it will be just limited to these chains that support NFTs?
Oh, yeah. So basically, this game of NFT is to test out the inter NFT technology module, right? So far, as I said, 4 network they contribute their testnet to build this joint test environment. Of course, if there are other chains want to participate, they can participate. And the code is open sourced. They can build a relayer and enhance their local NFT, ICS NFT interchain module. so participate. Yeah, so I think it's wide open to everybody. And more importantly, so the purpose of this game, is my understanding, is to really test out this enhanced ICS 721 module. And also, people can build relayers between different chains to make it really work in the business grade. So after that, it might be improved module into Cosmos SDK in the future. Then everybody can use it by default. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you very much for answering this question for me, Brian. Let's move on. I have prepared a few more interesting announcements and news. Just to so one step back. If you are interested in participating in a game of NFTs, I will again share the link to the file where you will find all information about game of NFTs, a link to GitHub. So please make sure to join if you really want to contribute to this big project. Okay, moving on. Evmos has released a roadmap plan for 2023. I guess it's for Q1, Q2. Let's take a very quick look at what they are preparing. Most interesting things here, at least for me, are interchain accounts, of course. What else do we have here? Kepler ERC20 support. So finally, Kepler will have a support for Ethereum tokens, which is cool. Documentation refresh, auto conversion of IBC tokens to ERC20 for single representation. So I guess they are planning to improve user experience of tokens of moving from IBC to ERC, which is cool and important. I did expect that because even now, people are still confusing those two for Evmos. What else? Lots of technical stuff that I cannot explain just now, but it's all here. Everyone should find their interesting use cases and plans for 2023 on Evmos. I guess we already talked about interchain NFTs with Brian, but just a quick question. Can you maybe share with us what is the most interesting use case that you see in interchain accounts? In interchain stuff for you. Like, what are you mostly excited about?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think there's a lot of use cases we can talk about, but I think interchain NFT, I mean cross-chain, it's a must-have infrastructure, but the use cases still take some time to grow. So for the most recent part, I would say, for example, if you want to stake NFT on different chain, because of they offer different incentive program over there, that's maybe a purpose for you to transfer it back and forth, right? For example, on Uptick, if you stake it here, I can give you more interest compared to the original chain. People might have the motivation to move it here. So this is I would basically describe it as like a NFT plus DeFi. So I think this is pretty practical in the near future. It will happen. The second part is on the utility NFT part. For example, in our plan, so because we built a ticket-based NFT before, we just found, okay, so for some utility NFT, so it's not about just you say, okay, you are the user of one chain, right? Stargates. I'm the user on Uptick. So basically, we maybe stick to the same different type of wallet account on our own chain. But at the same time, I want to transfer you a ticket for a live concert, right? So I transfer to you, and you hold it in your wallet. But at the same time, you need to make it validated when you try to enter the concert. So this type of cross-chain NFT transfer and also the interoperability will be our middle to long-term next step. So we are actually doing some experiment on that. So yeah, so for the near future, I think the DeFi plus NFT might be a big room to grow quickly.
Thank you very much, Brian, for the answer. Yeah, the more people, the more guests we have on our podcast, the more interesting use cases for interchain we discover. And yeah, all those that you mentioned sound pretty important to have. And I guess there will be like there was a kind of war of liquidity for DEXs. Yeah, like you remember Uniswap and SushiSwap. There will be war on NFTs. Yeah, the chains that will provide better interest rates or better use cases will get all the NFT liquidity on them. So cool. Yeah, this sounds really interesting.
Yeah, by the way, I think once this type of infrastructure are in place, people will be very innovative, right? More than we can think. For example, the membership, loyalty points, those are the type of NFT might have a huge use cases in the future. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, interesting. And my next question, like we have started talking about a roadmap of Evmos, let's quickly introduce maybe some roadmap points of Uptick. Like, what do you expect to launch in the nearest future? Anything that you can share with us now?
Oh, of course. So Uptick chain actually is still in the testnet stage. So we have already in the testnet for almost a year. We launched the testnet.one in last March. So so that's why in Q1 our plan is to bring it into the mainnet stage. So that's one goal in the near future. The second part is once the mainnet is live, so we need to port different applications on top of that. And this year in the Q2 or Q3, you can see, first it's a very enhanced Uptick marketplace, which is sitting on top of the EVM module on the Uptick chain. So it's a ERC standard, fully compatible. At the same time, I think the big room for this year for the whole industry is more interesting ecosystem applications. So you will see we probably will launch some ecosystem applications by ourselves and also with our application developer partners. Yeah, so that's the goal. The third part is the Uptick DAO. So we will gradually to build the Uptick DAO to really bring in this decentralized autonomous organization structure into the Uptick community. Because I'm a strong believer of this. So, currently most people are using the decentralized technology, right? The decentralized network to run the infrastructure and application. But on top of that, decentralized governance is really important. So Uptick DAO is one important project in our roadmap for this year. Yeah. Of course, the Uptick chain, the base infrastructure will keep evolving this year. You will see a lot of upgrades this year to stay in sync with the technology development in the industry, especially on the social graph part I mentioned earlier today. So the application, basically in the decentralized world, if you launch it, you are still looking for the traffic, people, right? So in the decentralized environment, the data ownership is different, right? So that's why you need to have a strong support from the infrastructure to the application to provide a mechanism to do the decentralized data service. Otherwise, the ecosystem application will not grow by themselves if they are not very strong on the operation part. Yeah, so that's several things in my mind right now.
Thank you for sharing your plans and roadmap pieces of Uptick network. Okay, let's get back to some of the announcements that I have also prepared. I have a couple of them more. Usual piece of news about some statistics, that I have found. Liam Connor has just tweeted a while ago that Osmosis has more daily users than Phantom, Optimism, Avalanche, Elrond. Yeah, so Osmosis is becoming one of the mainstream DEXs in the whole blockchain industry, which is cool. Yeah, and this is, of course, this is what we expect. Yeah, because there are so many blockchains with various use cases launching on top of Cosmos, and of course they become a part of Osmosis as well. You will be able to find the statistics in the file, or if you want to see more of metrics, then there is a new website called Token Terminal. I browsed it a little bit today, and you can really find lots of interesting metrics there. So if you are into numbers, welcome to check it out. Token Terminal, it's called. Moving on, also some good news. Axelar will be listed on Coinbase, one of the biggest exchanges in the industry. So congratulations to Axelar team. Almost daily or weekly, there are some big news coming from Axelar. Excited for these guys. And a very quick question to Brian. So I see on your website that some of the Ethereum virtual machine chains are mentioned in your ecosystem, like BSC, Polygon, Ethereum, and so on. What kind of bridges will you be using? Will it be something natively designed, or will you be using Gravity Bridge or Axelar?
Oh, yeah. Actually, currently we have our native developed bridges. Actually, we have those bridges in late 2021. So at that time we built the bridges between basically Cosmos IrisNet and BSC, and with Polygon and with Ethereum. So those are the native developed bridges. Currently, we're also evaluating all available bridges in the market. So that will become our so-called Uptick cross-chain bridges module. So those are the bridges connect to different type of blockchain ecosystem, right? Other than just native IBC networks. Yeah.
Thank you. Wow. Actually, that sounds like you were one of the pioneers in bridging assets from one ecosystem to another. And okay, we have just a few minutes left. Another question I also wanted to ask. I saw that you mentioned Loopring NFT marketplace as well. What relation do you have with these guys, with Loopring?
Yeah, so we actually have a strategic cooperation with Loopring. The reason we work with Loopring is we want to explore how it works on the layer 2, Ethereum ZK rollup layer 2. Because we have the bridges between our marketplace to basically to the Ethereum, but it's not very practical in our view. So we tried last year, but volume is pretty low. So that's why we want to build another channel to the layer 2 part. Loopring actually, so actually you will see some more announcement in next 1 or 2 months between us and the Loopring, because we actually have a marketplace deployed, our Uptick marketplace on Loopring. Actually, it covers all type of general digital assets over there. The Loopring is an open system. So we actually can just help them to first have the general marketplace by the community. First, actually, we might provide more solutions on Loopring to help others to build NFT-based application and the marketplace over there, especially some brands. They want to build their own mini marketplace. So yeah, we will try to enable that.
Thank you for clarifications on that. I see that you are involved in so many cool things around NFT world. Very much excited about that. Just 1 minute left, and the last piece of news I have prepared is about airdrops. Yeah, we have our own airdrop tracker, so to say. So just to mention that there are 2 claimable airdrops for our users. One is Mars. Mars Hub has launched recently, and another one is Howl. Haven't learned about this project yet, but it's eligible. It's already claimable. Sorry, if you were staking Juno, you can claim a Howl. And there are 2 airdrops that are coming, all about staking, liquid staking. Quicksilver is finally announcing their airdrop to Juno and Atom and Osmo and Star stakers. And another one is Stride, eligibility Luna stakers. And last question to you, Brian. The most favorite question of our users, is there going to be any airdrop for any ecosystems?
Of course. So we already built our airdrop system in place. We tested out, so people can claim it from different aspects. First, the most basic part is testnet participant. In the testnet, we have testnet.one and testnet.2, and also the participant part. One group is on the validator part. Another group is on the test marketplace users. So we already have all those data in place. So those are will be the airdrop audience by default. At the same time, because we have our marketplace running on the Loopring on IrisNet, so those users and the creators will also be the airdrop audience. Of course, because of the tradition of Cosmos ecosystem, we will also try to cover some projects and some proposal voters, which is I think it's good to support the growth of the overall NFT ecosystem in the Cosmos ecosystem. Yeah, so we will announce the detailed airdrop plan probably in the middle of March.
Okay, thank you very much, Brian. This was a very interesting discussion, very interesting call. I'm so excited about Uptick NFT network. I'm excited about your future use cases, about game of NFTs and so on and so on. So yeah, thanks for coming to our podcast.
Yeah, it's my great pleasure to share with you and the audience here. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, just to remind everyone that this was Inside Uptick Network podcast. We go live every Wednesday, 3 p.m. UTC. If you were late or didn't have a chance to listen to us live, then the podcast, all podcast episodes are available on SoundCloud, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. Soon there will be more platforms. They are in plans. So see you next time. And thanks everyone for coming to our podcast. Have a great day ahead.
Yeah.